Janis Joplin and 2 blues Christmas songs for your blues break this morning. That makes a whopping 3 blues songs. And it's just because I felt like you needed more blues music this morning. It's a big day ahead, and it wasn't at all because I needed more time to organize my thoughts for this blues break story. And I do have one for you. A story that I'd nearly forgotten to tell you because as soon as it happened, I repressed it. I repressed it so hard. I shoved it deep down in my psyche and hoped it would never surface again. You know those kind of stories? And there it has stayed, repressed in my psyche since it happened. But this morning, on the way to work, Thank You Next by Ariana Grande came on Spotify radio, and the urge to jump out of my moving car was so great all my deepest, darkest, repressed memories resurfaced. So there was a lot of trauma to sort through. That time during my freshman year of high school where that hot girl Clair told me she was into me, and then during my presentation that day in front of her and the rest of the class, I peed my pants. It turned out to be okay, though, after junior year, because Claire ended up going to rehab for heroin, so dodged a bullet there. That other time at my 14th birthday party where I went inside to get my ripstick because Bobby wanted to try it, and I walked in on my mom and the plumber and started crying. Not because of shock from the deed. I was 14, so porn was a part of my repertoire at that point. No, I was crying because I couldn't believe that my mom married a plumber. His profession was so blue-collar, my dad would never relate to my pursuit of the fine arts. And so I cried in foresight. But these events, they were nothing on the story that I remember to tell you. And it began Sunday morning, this past Sunday, 10:30 a.m. I was leaving my house here in Starkville to grab brunch on a blind date that my friends had arranged. As I was driving to the brunch location, I remembered that Sunday morning is the only time of the week that the secret citizens of Starkville emerge from their hidden cave houses and take to the streets because I got caught in traffic. I mean, really, do these people just sit around the house all day waiting for church Sunday to go out somewhere? Because that's the only time in Starkville that it seems to be actually busy. You know, you're right. Eating at Starkville Cafe is only okay on the Lord's Day. After all, Jesus' favorite game is watch people contract type 2 diabetes. I'm stuck in this traffic. It's bumper to bumper. Getting frustrated. I'm going to be late for my brunch. That's when the person in the car in front of me gets so fed up, they open their door and they walk out in the street. They're screaming their lungs out at the people in front of them. And I stopped. I said, I'd recognize the back of that head and pristine quality of that skin anywhere. I whispered to myself, staring at the back of their head. I got out of my car and said, "Hey!" The figure turned around, and sure enough, my arch nemesis, Mississippi State University President Mark Keenum. When he saw me, he clicked his tongue. Well. If it isn't Brock St. Clair, DJ at WMSV weekday mornings from 8 to 10 and host of radio's #1 cooking program, Cooking with Brock, I said the very same. And if it isn't Mark Keenum, douchebag. You take that back, Keenum said. Make me, I said. He held up expulsion papers. Okay, you made me. I take it back. Chill. What are you doing out here anyway, St. Clair? Keenum yelled. I could ask you the same thing, Marky Mark. You running late to a Kevin Spacey lookalike competition? Oh, right, Mark said. And I bet you missed your appointment at Metrosexuals Anonymous. La-dee-da, I said. You know, Mark, as much as I'd love to come over there and punch that incredibly moisturized face of yours, I've got places to be. So how about you and your presidentially appointed job doing agriculture or whatever it was? Get back in your Kia Sorento. With pleasure, Mark said. We both clambered back in our cars and slammed the doors. Unbelievable. Mark always made me so mad. But I took some deep breaths and drove the rest of the way to brunch in silence. I got to the location, and my friends had told me to go in blindfolded, so after I hit my hip on a few tables, I finally found mine, sat down, and when I took off my blindfold, me and Mark Keenum shared steak and eggs over a very long, awkward silence. Folks, remember to tune into The Juke this Sunday. The Juke is the show that airs every Sunday right here on WMSV from 6 p.m. to midnight that plays blues music. Blues that reminds you to date people for career advancement, I guess. I don't know. It's easy. Hey, I've got Dermot Kennedy up next with Power Over Me. I'm Brock St. Clair. This is WMSV. Yeah, okay. That was all right. I missed a couple of the kickers. They weren't quite there, but I'll take it. Thanks for listening today. I have one more day before winter break. It's going to suck because I don't want to leave because it's my favorite thing to do ever. So I'd much rather like to sit here and keep doing these jokes for you, but I'll be gone for a little under a month. And we'll be back at it for my final semester at Mississippi State and my final semester here at the radio. Thanks for the support on these. I'll see you soon. Tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow. What am I saying?